Hello and welcome! Now today we're gonna have another Chillout Time video. Now, to those of you who do not know and newcomers to my channel, and there are quite a few lately, now this is not a regular thing, it's just, you know, whenever I get the time or whenever I feel like just chilling out and sharing something with you just for a lazy Sunday. And yeah, that's all it is. So it's not regular, just like the gameplays, they're not entirely regular even though I enjoy doing them. The main thing on my channel are the project videos, which I try my best to post one a week. Now, of course, rest assured, today is not Sunday. It's, you know, don't worry, you still have your weekend coming up. But the reason why I've decided to do a chill out time today, which normally I do it on Sundays, is you know, because I haven't done a project video this week, and that is because, you know, there's been a lot going on family-wise, some stress and, you know, so forth, so I didn't want to rush a project video and, you know, just do it half-heartedly or anything like this. So I thought, you know, let's just chill out this week, unwind, and I'm sure many of you have had a hard week and need to unwind, so yeah, I'm gonna do a nice chill out video instead. As a little treat for both of us. Now today I wish to do a flick through on a retro magazine. Normally it's modern magazines, and that's, you know, just because I have quite a lot of modern magazines and still yet to come that I wish to like share with you, but you know, I just want to, you know, go down memory lane and have a bit of a flick through at the CU Amiga Magazine, which, you know, was one of my favorite magazines. There were two magazines back in the day which I liked. It was CU Amiga and Amiga Format. And I will tell you, you know, in a short while why I enjoyed CU Amiga Magazine. Now this is actually, first. Now this is from September 1992. My goodness, I remember what I was doing back then. I was enjoying my Amiga 500 that we had. I was just loving it. Now I remember this. What the? Oh yeah. Okay. Don't stop me in my tracks. I think that would stop you in your tracks also. Seems to be a scratch card competition here. It's like Kickoff 3 win Commodore CD drive A570. I think these days people are trying their hardest to actually find an A570 on eBay. Interesting. Price drop for the A600. Normally I flick through, but I want to read this. Commodore's newest Amiga has just had a 25% price cut and now retails for only $299. The machine, after healthy sales of 65,000 in its first 3 months, has abandoned the $399 price point that Commodore seems so fond of. The move has been explained away as a result of unprecedented reliability in the new machine, which returns of around a mere 1%. This may well be the case, but with a new machine on the horizon and the probable A600 bundle, it could be that for once the company is trying to sort out a coherent price structure before the machines actually go on the sale. This will not affect the price of this A600 HD, the hard drive model, which will remain at the reasonable $499 mark. Whether or not this is because the hard drive model isn't as reliable as the plain A600 isn't certain. Hold on a second, it's not as reliable, so it's more expensive? Right, okay. Silica Systems, one of the UK's leading Amiga dealers, were pleased with the new low price, but also surprised by the move. Andy Leaning, Silica's spokesperson, offered, "It's great news. At this price, the Amiga market will grow considerably and attract a lot of new users. It'll be interesting to see what other manufacturers, particularly those producing the high-specification games consoles, PC Engine, Neo Geo, etc., do in return." A $299 Amiga will make many prospective console buyers think twice about which system they buy. Previously, there was a large difference between the prices of consoles and the Amiga. Now that the difference is much smaller, and I'd expect a lot of the mere serious console buyers will consider the Amiga 600 given its better specification. PCMCIA support from Mitsubishi. I'm starting to want to read through this magazine rather than just flick through it now. It's just interesting. I love macros. I know I said off topic, but I just love macros. They're just beautiful. Got my favorite colors in them, that's why. And of course, Sabrina Squirrel. A way to put soft porn in a magazine and get away with it. This is... hold on, did I just pass what the freak this is? The cover disc. Movie setter. For a split second I thought it was something like Fantavision. Because I remember Fantavision, you could make animations with it, and it was, you know, with sound also. Unlike Deluxe Paint. But this seems to be another one. Which I didn't check out, to be honest. Oh, freaking mini office. I remember this. I remember my friend and I wanted this. I did actually buy it, but I did not buy it for $59.99. It was, you know, at a sale because it was around 1998, maybe 1997 or something when I bought this. And yeah, of course, the price have lowered, you know, since then. It looks nice, as in, you know, the packaging and everything. You think you're gonna get a good package, but I just wasn't so impressed with it. I was just more impressed with things like, what do you call it? What's it called? Wordworth and Kind Words, and not Kind Words, Final Writer, and things like that. I used to use Kind Words actually, the word processor. It's making me. Instantly, I have that Lotus 3 music in my mind now. You know which one. I feel like playing it. Just to hear that. Oh, here we go, the cover discs. Yeah, I actually quite like this one here, this cover disc. I'm very fond of it. I actually have it. You know, even now I collect cover discs. You know, the Amiga format and CU Amiga, well, the Amiga cover discs, let's call them. And this is one of them I have. This cover disc has got quite a lot on there. I mean, this Cubic is a full game and it's a Qbert clone. And it's actually pretty good. I sort of like it. I'll do a nostalgia time on it at some point. But I really like it. And Pod is, you know, another one which I really like. Actually, I believe this is a game from the Commodore 64 and Atari 8-bit. You know, this kind of... So this, my cousin Ayman and I, we actually did the nostalgia time. We recorded one, so it's either upcoming or it's, depending on when I upload this video, it's either upcoming or already done. But yeah, I've already done a catch-up. This is playable demo catch-up. I've already done a nostalgia time on this. I will link description below or the letter I. It's a really good cover disc actually. I like it. Mr. Wobbly. That's another one. It's like a take on Space Invaders, but what I'll do again, I'll do a gameplay on this. In fact, I might just do a episode on the cover disc itself because it's got quite a lot of things on it. Hand scanner. Here are these. I've seen them, as in, you know, I've seen them on in the magazines and so on at school, but I never actually used it. I've never used it, but I've heard that, you know, you have to keep your hands still, or else if you just do that, the image will just be bleh. Now this is why I loved CU Amiga, and why I still love CU Amiga. It's got this edge over Amiga format, where it's, you know, it has electronics projects, like DIY special projects. I mean, they're not small projects either. This is, you know, they're quite daring project. This is a ROM switcher. You know, stuff that if you were to just solder one track wrong, you can screw your Amiga up, or your ROM chips up. So, and back then, you know, ROM chips, they're not going to be that easily available, are they? So, you know, it's got quite some daring projects, and that's quite cool. Now, to those of you who have given me and others a hard time over modding their Amiga or hacking their Amiga, this is a magazine from 1992. There was a modding scene, and a hacking scene, always. Yeah, always. People did this stuff. So, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna accept any criticisms of my modding. You know, it's the whole part of the scene and makes it interesting. Now, one of my Amigas, of course, I'm gonna, leave it as it's just left the factory kind of thing. Just leave it in its original form. But my other Amigas, I want to mod. And that's just the nature of the scene. That's what makes it interesting. And, different people. Some are into it, some are not. I'm into it. Amiga CD TV. 200 off if you pay with plastic. Give you your Amiga 500. What would they do with it though? Maybe just make CD-TVs out of it. The CD-TV looks good. It looks really nice. But I just... not, Another DIY project. Which one's this? Oh no, that's the same. It's the ROM swap. So it just continues. Oh no, here's another. Project 3. Let's have a look. Which one was Project 1? That's Project 1? Ah, okay. Project 1 is the pause switch. See, again, this is another hack. So basically you just, you can pause your Amiga. Let's say there were a few games which did not have a pause. And this just, pauses the Amiga. Project 2 is the ROM swap here. So this is not just one DIY project, there's quite a few in CU Amiga. And this is why I like it. I think I'm gonna get a few more CU Amiga magazines. And this is, let's have a look. Audio amplifier. This is my kind of thing. Audio amplifier. For Project 4. Wow. Okay. Ingredients. So it's just using LM386 audio amp ICs. Okay, yeah, I've used them before. I've got better chips that I can use. What is this neat? Project 4 is interesting. Light sensor, applications, burglar alarm, trips alarm when beam is broken. Get your Amiga to wake you up when it gets light. Use your Amiga to time moving objects. Okay, interesting. This is just, those are my friends who are actually into electronics. You know who you are. In fact, I'll name you. Axel Dominator and also Wayne, Electronscape, the Sidbox dude. Actually, Axel is also, a team member now. So it's me, Rob, Lambda Calculus, and Axel Dominator. We're all the Sidbox team now. Of course, Wayne's the main dude. So yeah, this is something that Wayne would be interested in, this Project 4, definitely. This Project 4 light sensor thing, because he's into projects like this, like just like really out there projects. It's really cool. So you guys, seriously, CU Amiga Magazine, you need to get yourself a few. It's just, wow. I used to spend ages looking at this. Stuff which I can buy. I always wanted a color dot matrix printer, a Citizen. I have no idea what they were like. What are these, Citizen? Yeah, these are Citizen. Citizen Swift. I have no idea what these dot matrix printers are like, the colored ones. But when I saw them, I was just like, I want this. Because I had a black and white dot matrix. I actually miss it. I miss the sound. I know it's kind of like annoying, and a lot of people found it annoying. But I miss it. I really do, actually. It reminds me of an 8-bit, Spectrum loading or something like this. The sound of it. Anyway, did any of you have the color Citizen printers? If so, what were they like? What were they actually like? Using it. I know they just look like a dream. Especially for those of us who use Deluxe Paint a lot and wanted printouts. You can just get an external drive anytime you want now. You don't have to search on eBay. It's like, ooh, are they there? Is this some on eBay? $22.99 for 50 double density floppy disks. I want them now. Can I order? Just cut this out and just order. Send it up and just see what happens. I'm tempted. No, nothing will happen. But it's just like I really want it though. I want some double density discs. Flashback. I still need to do Flashback, actually, play that. Another World. I loved Another World. Actually, I've covered that twice. One is in Nostalgia Time, and another one as a live stream. I will link the live stream, you know, because the live stream was actually fun because I did it with you all, with some of you anyway. I need to do another live stream actually. I haven't done one for that's the only one I did for my 10k subs. So I will, yeah, link in the description below. The letter I. Lionheart. Lionheart I did for the Lemon Amiga competition when I used to do that. Motorhead. My brother used to play this, Motorhead. I remember I used to find the sprite, the main dude, amusing because do you know when you're wearing a jumper and you just put it over your head and your head looks like it's stuck to your body with no neck? This is one. That's what the main sprite in Motorhead reminded me of. He just had no neck. Walker. My other brother was really into Walker. I just didn't. It's a good game, but it's just not my kind of game. I'm not into the, you know, war kind of harsh, that sort of games. Under Mindscape. Never played that. Winless Amiga 500 Plus and a Philips 8833 color stereo monitor. Competition ends 31st October. You know, that's one thing. Actually, I mentioned it recently. Well, not so long ago. I was a guest on a podcast. It's Consoles Shock UK podcast. And yeah, I will link again. I will link that also. I think the description is going to be a treasure chest of things to check out. I'll link it in the description below, as well as, you know, the letter I, if I've got space in it left. I was speaking about, I actually asked them, the hosts, that, you know, what Amiga does not make sense to you. And I said, for me, a lot of people say the Amiga 600 doesn't make sense. I think for myself, the Amiga 500 Plus doesn't make sense. I think if they'd released the Amiga 600, you know, at the time of instead of the Amiga 500 Plus, it would have been, you know, definitely would have been much better because, you know, it's got some, at least this Amiga 600 has, what do you call it? The IDE port and the PCMCIA. You know, it's a step forward. Whereas the Amiga 500 Plus just wasn't really a step forward. The specs were the same except just, I mean, yeah, 1 megabyte of chip RAM, and that's it, instead of half meg chip and half meg fast like the 500, and there was Kickstart 2.04 in the 500 Plus. So it really wasn't that much of a, you know, step up. But the Amiga 600 was way more of a step up in, you know, hardware wise as well, and form factor was cool. I love the 600, to be honest. I always did. I had two back then. As in, you know, I got one and then I got one later on. You know, I didn't get two in the time when they were like 299. I got them in like late 90s, early 2000s. Oh, this is it. You know, I'm sorry, I'm talking more than I normally do in the, what do you call it? The Chillout Time videos, because it's like, it's Amiga. I love just geek talking Amiga. This is why I enjoyed that podcast a lot. Even, you know, the Amiga Ireland one, I did a way back, Amiga Ireland podcast, I did way back. I enjoyed that also. But it's just, Amiga is my all-time favorite computer, so I've got a lot to say about it. Shadow the Beast 3. I still have not played this. I heard it's better than both 1 and 2. 1 I've played. I attempted to play it. You know, I didn't actually play it. I attempted. But 1 was... it's just hard for the sake of being freaking hard. It looks nice. It showed the Amiga's parallax scrolling and the, you know, the capability of a lot, but the gameplay itself is meh. Shadow the Beast 2 is a little better apparently. I didn't play it myself. I watched my brother play it. Beast 3 I haven't actually properly seen, so I need to have a game of this. Crazy Cars 3. I remember this one. Was it Crazy Cars? Yeah, it was Crazy Cars. Seeing it on It was that cover disc, what was it? Crazy Cards 3, Paint Pot 2, which is kind of like a kid's paint program, which I did mess around with actually. But I forgot about that cover disc completely. Sword of Honor, never played this. Oh, more goodies that I can buy. A 600 RAM expansion. Let's have a look. Phoenix 601 populated 1 megabytes, $44.99. ROM share. Keyboard switchable. Interesting, $29.99. $500 plus 1 megabyte upgrade. So it upgrades you 500 plus to 2 megabytes. $34.99. Would rather get a 600 to be honest. Because the Amiga, as I said, the Amiga 500 plus just, it didn't make sense to me. You know. CD-TV drive. This freaking Commodore. I didn't get that. I really didn't get it. See, they made a CD-TV drive for the Amiga 500, and then they just released the CD-TV. It's freaking, they made the same mistake with the CD32. Just an Amiga 1200 with a CD drive. It's just like, why? Just, if you're gonna make a console, dudes, just make it have something a bit more special. Not just CD audio. But then again, you know, they were struggling. They didn't have much of a, you know, they suffered a lot, Commodore. They were like getting beaten, as in beatings, from all directions at that point. I'm not into football games and barely into sports games, but I remember my brother's friend really being after Striker. He couldn't find it anywhere. Is it, don't know, was it hard to get? Or what? Of course, back then in 1992, of course, you know, I was quite young and I just wanted to play on the Amiga. I used to exceed the 1 hour I was allowed to play on it. The 1 hour limit, and just like play like 3 freaking hours. I'll sneak on it and stuff like this. Because, you know, I used to do stuff like Deluxe Paint, not just games. And the magazines, you know, when I started high school, in those kind of days, I just started looking at the magazines themselves. And I was just like, ooh, all the stuff I wanted. Okay, interesting. If you bought a CD TV and are now living to regret it, read on. Let's read this. Commodore made multimedia available to the masses with a dynamic total vision, CDTV, but it looks set for dinosaur status in the light of Philips' impressive compact disc interactive, CDI. Chris Ken's senior staff writer, PCW, comparison of the two systems gave him the best hardware experience he's had for 5 years. Okay, interesting. I would need to read that, actually. I'm interested. I don't know much about this Philips CDI, to be honest. I don't know that much about the CDTV, except it being an Amiga 500 in in a new casing. But it's supposed to be, apparently, it's not an Amiga, it's a CDTV. The Amiga name is nowhere near it. But it's an Amiga 500 inside. My goodness, I used to have a Rocklight 3.5 slimline drive. I remember that drive used to crunch, as in it used to sound like it's crunching the disc. It was kind of cool, it was really slimline. Was it Rocklight? No, it was Rocklight. The other one was Rocktech. Yeah, it was definitely Rocklight. But I looked inside it recently. I got one. I looked inside it. It was belt driven. I had no idea until recently that some floppy drives are belt driven. It's like, what the freak? I have to give it back because I got it. There was no belt. So I just said no. I'm not gonna go around looking for a freaking belt for a device that you cannot get a belt for. The Atari Lynx, actually, it's got the soul of the Amiga in it, even though it's Atari. I'm actually very interested in an Atari Lynx, to be honest. It's just, you know, one of those systems that it's just appealing to me. I used to want a Sega Game Gear back then simply because my brother's friend brought one around. But, you know, nowadays more the Atari Lynx. It's just something about it. Game Boy, I kind of wanted one because everyone else had one, but then that wanting it just kind of like fizzled out soon when I saw the graphics. I mean, it's a good system in the sense of apparently it's got, you know, good games on it. It's got a good library of games, but the thing is, I'm not into Nintendo that much. I'm not into NES, SNES, or anything like this, you know. Kind words. There you go, I used to use this. I don't know, I'm not into Nintendo in the same way I'm not into Apple, maybe even Sony anymore, because of the way the attitude of the company really makes a difference. What's this? Hama 290. Oh, it's a Genlock. Sweet. Ooh, goodies. I want these goodies. Rock Gen Genlock. I've got a Super Gen. Hard to get a hold of that now. Ooh, action replay. I loved this thing. I love the action replay. And back then we had the 2. Recently I got the 3. Yeah, but I loved this thing. I used to rip mods. That's when my mod ripping started. I went through all the discs and I just had an evening. Actually, it was an evening stroke night. But I just like went through every disc, every demo, just looking for, oh, this is a nice mod. Freeze. I filled quite a few discs up and I used to just listen to them all as if it was like an audio player on Soundtracker Pro 2. Oh my goodness, such days of innocence. More carefree, not that much stuff to worry about back then. Geeky Amiga, I saw one of those being sold on eBay, but too expensive. Well, it became expensive. It started off cheap. I was watching it. It's just the stuff that I was curious about and I wanted to just check out. Pen Pal, yeah, I remember this. This was another word processor. There's quite a few word processors for this, actually. My brother used Pen Pal, I think. Octomed Professional version 3. Octomed was one of those... I know Octomed is a freaking good piece of software, but just the layout of it, I never got on with. Just similar with like ProTracker. The layout of it, I didn't. I go through that on my... one of my videos that I made on trackers. I'm not saying that the layout on Octomed is bad or the layout on ProTracker is bad. I'm just saying that for me it wasn't, my mind maybe works a little differently to a lot of people who got on with Octomed. Soundtracker Pro 2, the layout of it, everything of it is literally just perfecto for me, just perfect. Anyway, I will link that in the description below. My goodness, I'm excited just going through this now. There's like parts where I want to like stop and read, have a good read. PD scene. Oh, I love the PD. Oh, frick. Softborn again. PD scene. I love the PD scene, to be honest. I really do. I did, and I still do. It's just... some PD games are like better than some commercial games. Like Crazy Sue. I still need to do a good gameplay on that. I need to get my thing that I'm wanting to get. I'm not gonna reveal it just in case I, post this before getting it. You know what I mean? That's kind of 17-bit software and stuff like this. The Assassin Speedy discs. Oh, recognizable goodies. Bubble Bubble loved it. New Zealand Story loved it. Rainbow Islands loved it. Parasol Stars loved it. All these I loved. I need to do again. I still need to do another revisit to Rainbow Islands because Andrew Braybrook himself has, you know, written a blog post especially for me. Bless him, especially for me, to actually, you know, to guide me through and what he had done, as in, you know, the gems to collect them in order and things like this, and certain items to collect and not to collect. So I really still need to go through that. I haven't forgotten Andrew. I'm still yet to do that. But I want to do it justice. I want to, like, you know, chill out properly. Hard drive roundup. Sweet. Vortex System 2000. Never heard of it, but it looks like it means business. Win a load of rubbish. A skip full of junk could be yours. What? Yes, that's right. You can win the entire contents of the CU offices. Well, the useless stuff anyway. Okay. Let's have a look at this. What were they giving away? We've run some good competitions in the past with trips to the States or numerous video recorders on offer. But this one really this one's really scraping the barrel. Literally, this is your chance to win all the junk that now infests the CU Amiga offices. That's right, pen a witty caption to the photo on this page, and the rubbish that is accumulated in the office over the couple of years could be yours. The reason for this madness? Well, we're getting rid of Steve, Mary, and Steve Queenie Keen. So we threw the rest of the deadwood. So we thought the rest of the deadwood should go too. But don't scoff, this truly great prize includes some absolute gems. Not only could you walk away with Steve Keen's collection of vanity mirrors, okay, and Nick Veitch, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his surname, handy supply of doctor's notes. Okay, but there's some real bargains hidden beneath all the crap. For instance, tucked away in a dingy filing cabinet are more than 2,000 PD discs accumulated over the years. No offense, you know, the vanity mirrors and the doctor's notes, I'm sure, are very good. Nick, if you're watching, and Steve, if you're watching, but the 2,000 PD discs interested me more. Accumulated over the years, and utilities, including all the games demos utilities we featured in the mag, plus a lot more besides. Sadly, Dan half-inched his prized collection of King's Cross business cards before we could include those as well. There's also a clapped out C64 that nobody wants anymore, a vast another thing that would interest me. Vast collection of computer game magazines, that interests me. Roughly $100 games, that would interest me. Broken teacups, maybe not so much. CU Amiga t-shirts, oh, that would interest me. Very fat son publisher who nobody likes must remain nameless for legal reasons. We'll also throw in an assortment of joysticks. Interested. Mice, interested in books. So does the dude come in a skip? Books, videos, and whatever else isn't bolted down to the floor or already carted off to Steve Merritt's flat. So how it sounds like an interesting place to work. So how can you get your hands on a skip full of rubbish? It's easy. Just write a witty caption to accompany the picture of our dashing managing editor Steve James, printed on the entry coupon, and send your answers to caption CU Amiga. Email. Wish I could. But then again, I don't want to do it in a skip. The caption, we think. Best wins the lot. Nope, there are no runners-up prizes at all. Oh my goodness. That's what I love about true Amiga people. They're actually funny and hilarious, and I'm sure a blast to work with and be around. Back chat. And this is people, I think. Yes, there's people writing in, which is kind of interesting. I won't go through them because I'm sure there's interesting. Electronic design channel. Drool pages. You know something? Computing was really interesting back in these days. It just there was soul to it. You know, I just yes, I know I'm getting nostalgia pangs. Times changed. But hey, we're bringing back a lot of the fun. And you know, one of the things being part of the Sid Bucks team is just, it feels like the excitement in it and all that. It just feels like, you know, we're recreating a lot. Well, we're creating new memories, but just in a retro fashion. It's because it's the same souls at heart, you know, from back then. And we're all just like, you know, teaming up and having a good time. It's lovely being part of projects like that. It really is. By the way, I keep talking about Sid Bucks. If you don't know about it, again, link is in the description below. There's going to be a lot of links in the description below on this. This is interesting. Step-by-step Octomad. So if anyone is really wanting to know Octomad and struggling, oh, there's this in this magazine, which is pretty cool. You know, I love magazines like this. It's just, wow. Very impressed. Next month. We're heading towards the end of the magazine, sadly. But I've had fun going through it. Anyway, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed just as much as I did going through this CU Amiga magazine. I don't know, I relived a few memories going through this, to be honest. And it's really nice to, you know, to share the moment with you lot. You know, it's just kind of, I enjoyed that. Which is why I do the Chillout Times. But of course, I will continue in project videos. Next week there was a few family issues this week, so you know, I didn't want to rush a project video and just, you know, do it half-heartedly. I just, you know, I want to put my whole heart into it, you know, and so I will, you know, re-emerge fresh. I'll just do a bit of a chill out one this week. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for your likes, your shares. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos and do subscribe for more. For now, I will say adios.